top 10 reasons why you're depressed and you feel like that motherfucker in the thumbnail of this video. Number 1, you're eating like shit, okay? I don't care what anybody tells you. It's as old as the quote your mom used to tell you when you were younger. You are what you eat. If you eat garbage, you are garbage. No. But yeah, basically, if you are putting bad things in your body, you're basically running yourself on bad gas. Would you buy a brand new freaking Mercedes or Porsche and would you put shit gas on it and shit oil and not take care of it? No. That's what you're doing to your body when you're putting bad food, bad liquids, tons of sugar, carbs inside of it. You're running your body on things it's not supposed to be ran on. By living on bad fuel, your overall health just isn't going to work like it should. Your brain isn't going to be as powerful as it should because it's not getting the right nutrients and ingredients it needs to operate at maximum capacity. Your body's not going to heal correctly. You're going to be weaker. You're going to have less energy because your body doesn't have a good source of energy coming in. So you're not gonna feel good. And if you don't feel good, you're not gonna be confident. The old saying again, looking good and feeling good makes you play good. Look good, feel good, play good. You look good when you eat good, when you start to take care of yourself and watch what you put in your body, you stay fit. When you're fit, you start to feel good because you look in the mirror and you feel proud of yourself that you were able to accomplish something that many others could not. And you just feel good because you have a constant level of good energy. You're not sluggish, you're not putting garbage in your body, you're running your body on good fuel and it's fueling you to be energized all freaking day, okay? When you feel good, you play good. That's when you perform at your absolute best. That's when race cars perform at their absolute best, when they're running on the correct fuel. There's reasons why all these newer cars nowadays, especially fast Subarus, WRXs, Lambos, there's little signs inside the gas tank that say 93 fuel only. You need to run your body on the highest fuel to get the best performances possible. If you want to be that guy out there that's high performing, is always doing something, needs to be high energy, needs to always be doing something to keep sane, needs to always be on the constant pursuit of learning something new and improving, you need to fuel your body with things that are going to make you smarter, give you energy, and allow you to push through the hard days that you're going to have being the man that you are. Number 2, you're not taking care of yourself. You're not staying fit. You're not taking care of your overall well-being, body, and health, okay? This ties into the last one. Exactly. If you're with the look good, feel good, play good thing, if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to feel good, you're not going to play good, and you're not going to feel good, okay? Just like the last time. In life, the person that performs the best is the one who is confident in his ideas and thoughts. A person who is so confident in his own ideas and thoughts will rub off that confidence on others around him. He is so confident in his own ideas, it's almost mystical to some people. When people are around a extremely confident guy, it almost gives them confidence in return because they feel confident in this gentleman or woman's ideas and opinions. And he's confident not only because he expresses his own ideas and opinions, he's able to express his own ideas and opinions by the way he lives his life. He's confident in his body. He takes care of himself. He knows that taking care of himself is no easy matter in this world. It requires a level of discipline, persistence, and passion that most people never get the chance to access in this world. Taking care of yourself and staying fit is one of the first things you can do in this world to learn how to learn or learn how to grow confidence. Me personally, when first starting to stay fit and take care of myself, be active, I'll be honest with you, it sucked at first. I didn't want anything to do with it. There were days where I was in there where I was freaking picturing myself, oh fuck, am I gonna be doing this when I'm fucking 30 years old? Am I still gonna be doing this 15 years from now? But you do it long enough, you start to get more confident in it, you start looking in the mirror, you start feeling good about yourself, and it becomes an addiction. It becomes an addiction to get better, get more confident, and just look good. And it becomes an addiction just to chase that next dopamine hit of feeling good. You get addicted to feeling good naturally without any drugs, and that's what you need to do. That is what is going to unfuck your mind and undepress you. You need to get addicted to feeling good. When you are depressed, you're addicted to feeling bad. The only thing you know how to do is feel bad and do things that make you feel bad. When you get good at the gym, you start getting addicted to things that are good for you. You look at bad things and you want nothing to do with that. You go to the gym, get better, and you start looking at other outlets in your life that you can get better at, because you have learned this skill of how to get good and how to feel good, and you will be on the constant pursuit of the next thing to try and get better at. It's amazing. Number 3 kind of ties into number 2, but what I'd say another reason most people are depressed is not physically not taking care of themselves, but when people aesthetically don't take care of themselves. I'm gonna keep saying this: look good, feel good, play good shit for this entire fucking video, and it applies to so many other areas in your life than it did in freaking 10th, 9th grade fucking flag football, okay? Presenting yourself is everything. If you do not care about presenting yourself or looking good, you're going to feel like shit. If you don't want to go to the gym, that's fine. If you don't want to feed yourself good food, that's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but at least try and do this, okay? Think of areas in your life where you need to make a good first impression. First impressions are everything. Studies have been shown that the first 5 minutes of an interaction with any new human being you're meeting often defines their overall thought of you and who you are as a person. Everybody needs money. Everybody needs a job. Everybody has something they want in this life. Everybody has something that they're competing for over everybody else to get or achieve. To get whatever it is you want, if it is exclusive, if not everyone can have it, if you're in the constant pursuit of trying to battle someone else to achieve this goal, you're going to have to learn how to present yourself, sell yourself. You're going to need to learn how to make yourself likable. And one way to do that is just aesthetically having a pleasing appearance. And I feel like a lot of people don't get what they want in life with people, aren't able to communicate effectively, is because they scare people off just by the way that they look. Think about going into a job employers, or think about going into an employer's office to try and get a job, and you go there, you're looking bummy, you got no haircut, you haven't shaved in freaking 3 months, you're patchy all over the place, you're wearing sweatpants, a dirty little white tank top with a freaking mustard stain on it. You don't look presentable, and therefore it conveys to this person that you're trying to get something from that you are a lazy person. When you walk in like that, you aren't looked at or respected. You are, if anything, belittled by your appearance. You need to start taking care of your appearance and worrying about looking good to actually get things you want out of life. It's not always a physical ailment that's punishing you from not getting what you want. You also need to look good and play the part if you do want these things in life. Take care of your hygiene, how you look, grooming, all of that. Again, look good, feel good, play good. Number 4, you're surrounding yourself with shit people, and it's making you a shit person. It's true what they say. You become most like the 3 people you are around most in this world. It makes perfect sense. I've had people try and deny this fact, but how can you deny that your brain isn't thinking and making new ideas based off the people it's around most in this world? If I'm around 3 idiots who are talking about weed and drugs all day, I'm gonna be more informed on drugs and weed versus if I were to surround myself with people who like talking about books and new ideas. If I'm hanging out with those people, I'm gonna learn about new books and new ideas, and if I'm hanging out with people who are talking about weed and drugs, I'm gonna learn about weed and drugs. It's ridiculous. Don't try and tell me shit. You do become most like the 3 people you are around most in this world. Me personally, I do have physical experience with this. When I was younger, I was one of those kids who got caught up in the whole Xbox scene and was kind of that like Discord kid who had all his real life friends on Xbox and talked to people from all over the world. Instead of going out and socializing with the people around him, he drowned himself in the online universe and made all his friends on there. And being young and not knowing who I should surround myself with, I ended up surrounding myself with some pretty unintelligent, emotionally unintelligent, toxic people. Surrounding myself with these people made me not confident for a long time because it was so toxic. There was always pointing out the bad and never pointing out the good in anyone's situation. It taught me that I couldn't have a good time doing things I liked anymore, because a lot of the times the games became about just performance and not exactly having fun anymore, and there was a lot of personal fighting and emotional abuse and just things that aren't good for a child of any age, from the ages of 10 to 16 or whatever you want to call it. That was the age when it was all happening. After I got older, I finally realized that it's a bad idea to surround myself with these people. There's nothing to look forward to the future with these people. These people are only focus in life is to play Xbox, play video games, and be good at whatever video game they're playing in the moment. And once I stopped surrounding myself with these bad people who were just devoting all their time to nonsense and weren't going anywhere in life, is the time I actually started prospering and getting better and started to have goals in life, once I took an initiative to surround myself with people and knowledge that were going to make me better, instead of hanging out with these people who had zero fucking goals in life. Reason number 5, your life is shit. You're spending all of your time on meaningless activities. You're spending all your time filling all your better hours into things that are not helping you, things that are not progressing you forward, things that are just wasting your time and not doing anything for you. Whether it be an excess amount of video games, an excess amount of drinking, an excess amount of smoking pot with your friends or by yourself. Just things that aren't necessarily going to help you get anywhere. Things that are making you stay complacent. Human beings, naturally, they need a reason to live here. They need a reason to prosper on this planet. They need a reason to be alive. They need to find what drives them every day. And unfortunately, when you spend a lot of your time doing meaningless activities, you hinder the goal we should all have to find what it is we want to do in this lifetime. Drinking, playing video games, smoking weed with your boys, your friends, it's an escape. I see it, and I saw it in my friends growing up. I see it in people now. They're 20 and 25. They're still playing video games every day, no goals, no life, work the same shit job. They're not happy. Like they play so much video games and waste so much time doing meaningless activities because it is a mere escape to them. You cannot live life looking towards your next escape just to escape the reality that you're miserable with. Your life isn't shit because you're miserable. You're miserable because your life is shit. Understand that. Stop filling all your excess time with things to escape reality and focus on what can get you to a reality that you enjoy living every day. Reason number 6. Took me a while to figure this shit out, and I'm going to share it with you right now. You drink way too much fucking caffeine. I don't know what aspect of life you're in. I don't know where you are, if you've become the kind of person on a fitness journey, if you're some blue collar boy or gamer that loves chugging a bunch of fucking caffeine every day and cannot for the life of them figure out why the fuck they are anxious as fuck all the time. It is because caffeine is like nitrous for your brain. It's good in the moment, and it helps you go fast, and it helps you have power, but it also puts stress on a lot of key components in your brain. It makes your brain run at speeds which it is not supposed to. It makes it not be able to process logical thoughts in a relative manner that a sane person whose brain was running on a constant level would process. It does not allow you to assess situations logically. Your brain is racing and trying to do things way too fucking fast, and in return it gives you anxiety because you cannot think clearly. Going to the gym just a few years back, I used to slam like 2 bangs a day, 1 in the morning and like 1 before the gym. I was on and then a coffee during the day. I was probably on like 800 milligrams of caffeine a day. I tried and put that down to about like 100 to 200 right now, under 200. But I want to get that number to 0 eventually. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if it would work for me. I do hear that some people, no caffeine does work better for them. They feel more focused. But as of right now, I'm happy I'm not on 800 and I'm on 200 right now. But anyways, going to the gym, slamming 2 bangs a day, I could not for the life of me figure out why the fuck I was so anxious in the gym, especially when there's a lot of people there. I would remember that sometimes I wasn't anxious, even though there were a lot of people there, and sometimes I just was crazily anxious. I had this idea in my head that everyone was looking at me, or I just look stupid, or I just look like a doofus. And I didn't understand why sometimes I felt that way and sometimes I didn't. And I started to map what the fuck was happening on these days where I would feel like shit and I would feel good. And I noticed on the days where I would slam a 300 milligram can of fucking Bang before I work out, those are the days, yeah, like I'd go a little bit crazier in the gym, and that's not always a good thing. Maybe I feel like a lot of the times the caffeine made me overlift and maybe injure myself and maybe make it bad for me in the future. Make a long-term injury. You don't want that. I realized once I stopped drinking the caffeine, I was able to slow down and think through my thoughts and realize a lot of the shit that was going through my head when I was on caffeine was ridiculous nonsense. It was my brain on nitrous not being able to assess situations logically, internally, slowly. I was not able to think through my thoughts. Delusional thoughts were coming to mind by not being able to think clearly. Too much caffeine will inhibit your ability to think clearly, and it will make you fucking anxious. Be careful of how much caffeine you consume in this world. It's not this superpower drug that you can consume all day long and have unlimited fucking energy. It will fuck with your head. I don't give a fuck what anyone says to you. Stop drinking the pre-workout. You don't need that shit, okay? You don't need to be, if you want to be a bodybuilder, do whatever the fuck you want. If you drink the pre-workout because you feel like you need to be the biggest of all time and you need the caffeine to help you lift that heavy ass weight and go hard as fuck, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. What works for me is just making sure I hurt. Don't try and go super fucking heavy. Don't try and be the strongest guy in the room. Just look good. Because at the end of the day, most guys who are trying to get to that next level, that huge level, they're doing it for impure reasons. Some guys, yeah, they want to look good, they want to be big, but a majority of men trying to get to that super physiological, Derek. Most of the guys trying to get to that level, they're insecure and they think getting bigger will equate to bigger confidence, but that is not the case. You need to develop confidence up here, not here. Reason number 7 why your life is shit. You're abusing weed. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you don't smoke the shit. It's bad for you. It's the devil's lettuce. I feel like weed can be extremely beneficial, but it needs to be used in moderation. I do see a lot of guys around me smoking so much weed to the point where they need to take a fucking dab just to feel something. Think about that for a second. I don't know if you've ever taken a dab. I've taken a dab. I've taken a dab at points in my life where I was smoking joints every night of my life, and when I took that dab, I fucking died. And I see these kids who are taking dabs before they go into the gym or before they go to work and shit like that, and I think back to the time when I took a dab and how it completely clocked me the fuck out. It makes me think how much weed they're actually smoking, where you can go into the gym and socialize and talk to people off a fucking dab. You can't smoke too much weed. People say, oh, it's not addictive. Yeah, physically and health-wise, it's not addictive. Like, your body's not going to go into withdrawal like it would with heroin or meth or some type of narcotic like that. Mentally, it is addictive. Just like any other psychedelic or mind-altering drug out there, it is a sense of escape for some people, whether you like the drug or not. Some people are turned off to weed, some people aren't. Some people are turned off to coke, some people aren't. It's a drug that helps you escape reality for a little while, and sometimes it's a drug you can use to enhance reality for a little while and really focus on something in your reality that you want to learn. Weed is good for that. Weed is good in moderation for focus sometimes, but you cannot abuse it. You can use weed if you plan it out and figure out what you want to learn or think about, and use the hyper focus that weed can bring some people to help you really focus on a topic. A lot of times weed also makes you, I feel like weed makes you have tunnel vision. It doesn't allow you to look outwards. If you ever heard the story by Jocko Williams, he talks about how his entire squad was looking into a little sniper scope and no one was able to look around him and make any call outs of things around him. Their vision was altered. It was a mere 20-degree angle, and by looking out, he was able to see a full 180 range of view. And you can compare that to weed. When you're smoking weed, I feel like your focus is kind of hindered to that 20-degree field of view. And when you are sober, yeah, you're not as hyper-focused, but you don't want to be hyper-focused all the time. When you're sober, you're able to look at all things. Weed is not meant to be used every day. You want to be looking outward and inward. When you're constantly looking inward, you become blind to things around you that you need to know. That's why I think a lot of people often who are smoking weed, they get in this constant cycle of, oh, I'm depressed, I need the weed to help me, but in return, the weed is depressing them because they're constantly focused on this one thing that's hindering their happiness, and they don't know how to get out of it. They just keep constantly repeating the cycle of focusing on the shit that's making them depressed, and they don't understand that if they just stop the weed for a little bit, they can look outward and go out of their consciousness and just figure out what the fuck is exactly causing the problem in their life. They're not taking a broader look at things. They're hyper focusing on one aspect, and it's hindering their ability to be happy and figure out how to get out of the situation they're in. Weed is good in moderation. It is not good all the time. Your body is not meant to run on concoctions all the time. Number 8, you fucking drink too much. Drinking is different than weed. I've had a drinking problem, I've had a weed problem, I've had an everything problem in the past. No tattoos, I don't know fucking how that happened. But yeah, drinking is not the same as weed. Drinking is purely an escape from reality. Weed, it can also be an escape from reality sometimes, but with weed there are some medicinal uses and some brain hacks you can access with weed. But alcohol just makes you stupid. It pickles your brain. Literally every time you are drinking alcohol, you are killing and numbing neurons inside your head. Versus weed, yes, it's not good all the time, but the times you do smoke, it's allowing your brain to access different parts of the brain and work together. Alcohol, it just kind of mellows you out, and it forces you not to think at all. It just hinders your logical reasons. That's why your logical thinking. That's why you become so confident in alcohol. Alcohol is the true form of disconnection from reality. And yeah, I don't think it's a problem at like kind of college, 21, maybe even late teenager age to go out and get fucked up after school or on weekends. That's just a passage of life. That's just learning how to have fun with your friends. I'm not saying you need to do it, I'm not saying you should do it, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. If you're the type of person that wants to have that little fun in their younger years and just go all out and have fun like that for a little while, it's okay. In moderation. I feel as if some people take it way too goddamn far. I see people older than me that are 24, 25 years old still doing the fucking same shit, posting on Snapchat, drinking with so-and-so at so-and-so bar. Like, bro, you're 25. Don't you have any ambitions or goals? Do you have anything else to look forward to than to going out and getting fucking cocked at Brannigan's for the 5th time this month on a fucking Saturday? Like what are you doing, man? It's not their fault that they're like that. I truly do feel as if people who get addicted to going out and drinking like that have this thing where they need to escape reality. They're not happy with where they are in life, and they find leisure in drinking. It is the only time they can become happy, and they don't understand that happiness in a sober reality can be achieved. They just don't know how to change their sober reality to make themselves be able to be happy. I feel like a lot of these people, these kids, these men, women, anyone, they get into this vicious cycle of escaping reality, drinking every weekend, and sometimes every day, because they aren't happy with where they are in life. They're not fulfilled. They're not working towards something they love to do. What kind of life are you living if you're not excited for the next day, if you're not excited to learn something new the next day? I can remember a time where I was drinking pretty heavily when I was younger. Unfortunately, no one said anything about it. I don't think anyone had the emotional intelligence to say anything about it when I was younger, people that were around me. I really wish someone did, or, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't regret the past, because if no one said anything, I wouldn't have learned it on my own. And I probably wouldn't have fucking listened if someone tried telling me, so maybe it was a good thing. I think back to a time where I just hated my goddamn life so much. I was working a shitty fucking construction job with an asshole boss. It's a story for another day. And it made me so sad, and it made me just resent the next day ahead. And the only thing I had to look forward to at the end of the day was going home and fucking drinking a fifth of fucking vodka and passing pissed fucking drunk out cold at 6 p.m. and waking up at 7 a.m. the next morning to fucking do it all over again and deal with the whole stress and anxiety throughout the entire fucking day. And the only thing on my mind is escaping reality later on today when I go back home and I have that fifth of vodka again. You don't want to live a life like that. That's fucking miserable. The alcohol is killing you. The alcohol made me fucking depressed. The alcohol hindered me from looking inward and seeing what I needed to do to get out of that bad situation. I was so sad because I didn't know how to get out of that bad situation, because the only thing I was thinking about is how to not feel bad about that bad situation I was in. I didn't stop and think, I'm here, how the fuck do I get there? Stop with the alcohol. In moderation is okay, but in the end, I really don't think it is ever good for you. Number 9, you hate your fucking job. All this ties in together. Drinking, weed, not living your best life, not living your true self, taking care of yourself, being active, hating your fucking job. That all makes you fucking depressed, and it all intertwines and translates into each other. You hate your job. You hate the fucking people you have to see every day. You hate saying fucking hidey ho to Bob or Cheryl or Carol. You hate going to sit in your fucking cubicle from 9 to 5 with a shitty fucking tie from Marshall's and working on some stupid proposal you don't give 2 fucks about. Your dreams and goals died years ago. There's nothing moving you forward anymore except a fucking paycheck. If you're the type of person who can be moved by a fucking paycheck, you're no human at all. You're an NPC. Sounds cringy, but if your sole purpose in this life is fucking paper, you're a fucking loser. Your sole purpose in this life needs to be something you care about, something you have deep affection for, something you will wake up and die for. Whatever job you choose, whether you want to be self-employed, work for someone, live in the fucking woods, backpack through the mountains, you need to be doing something you are happy with doing. You need to be doing something that isn't soul-sucking, that isn't annoying you, that it isn't making you wake up every morning and thinking about what the fuck you have to do today and what are you going to do to get through another fucking shitty day. You can't live through life like that. You're going to live through life fucking miserable, and it's only going to get worse. Stop telling yourself it's going to get better. It's fucking not. Take initiative now, no matter how old you are. If you're young like myself or older, middle-aged, 40, 50, 60, 70, blah, blah, blah. It's never too late. If you fucking hate your job, take initiative to change it. Put yourself in a position where you are happy with what you are doing every day. Put yourself in a position where you are happy to wake up and go work on whatever it is you're working on. Be happy. Don't just fucking stick it out for a paycheck, or you think you can't because you have a family or a car payment or a house payment. I guarantee you it's only going to get worse as you age and with time. It is always possible, if you need to take a step back and maybe make some less money for a little while to try and go achieve something that you're going to be happy with, that investment is invaluable. Over time, it's going to suck for a little while, but over time, doing that, taking a hit for a little while, is going to be so much more beneficial to you in the long run for your happiness, finances. Because think about it, the happier you are with your job, the more prone you are to want to get better at it, and the better you get at it, the more people are going to want to pay you for your abilities. You're not going to get good at something you fucking hate. Maybe you can tolerate it and get to a certain point to get to a place where you're comfortable, but you're going to get to that comfortable place, stay at that same amount of money, and just be fucking miserable working on that fucking thing you fucking hate every day. It sucks. Don't get to that point. Stay away from it. Find something you love to do. The last and probably the most important thing I have to say about why you're depressed is number 10. You're not living your true self. I know I mentioned this in a few other ideas throughout this video, but I'm really going to go into detail what living your true self actually means and what it can do for your overall well-being, happiness, and life and goals. It does tie into things such as your job, like we just discussed, but it goes so much deeper than that. Living your true self is living life not hindered by anyone else's opinions or goals that they have for you. Living your true self is living your life based on the goals that you have for yourself and the things that passion you and interest you. You live life doing what you want when you want, and I don't mean that in a selfish way. Obviously take care of the ones around you that need to be taken care of, like your family and the closest ones to you, and even strangers. Take care of them too. You never know what helping someone can do for you, what it may teach you, and you should just always help people. Living your true self is going to make you happy. You need to stop caring about what others think of you and start basing your decisions based off what you want and not what others want. You need to start taking action on the things in your life that not only enlighten you but also excite you as well. If you do this, you will forever be passionate and in turn forever be happy. Man and woman are here for a specific reason. I really do believe every man and woman on this earth has something they were born to do. And if you don't live that truth, if you don't live on this planet and constantly pursue what you were born here to do, you will live a life of misery and eventually come after life, live in purgatory, trying to find what it is you're missing in your life. You'll never find what it is in your life that gets you out of bed in the morning, and not finding that is going to make you a miserable, out of touch human being. Living your true self is the key to happiness. You need to live this life like you are the main character. Treat this life like you're the only one in the story. Treat this life as if you were writing the book of your own life. Write the book how you want to live it. Live the life how you want to live it. Do a good job. Be happy. Never let anyone tell you you can't do anything in this world. Live your truth.